you too long, but thank you very much, Rob, for that introduction. And again, if you guys don't know who I am, Fernandez. I've been in the industry since probably the mid-90s. I know that I look young, I'm Asian, so I don't age. But how many of you guys have really set higher goals for 2012 compared to 2011?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a CD that I constantly listen to. It's by Earl Nightingale. Right? It's called The Strangest Secret. Has anybody heard of it? The Strangest Secret, right? And I hear that over and over and over again. I've probably heard that at least 100 times. The two key things that I remember, I keep remembering, even though I listen to it hundreds and hundreds of times, two things that I get out of that all the time. And one of them is you are exactly where you want to be, whether or not you admit it or not. Wow. Just think about that. You are exactly where you want to be, whether or not you admit it or not. The other thing, right? The other thing that really catches me when I listen to that thing is you are what you think about. You are what you think about. And really, honestly, I still haven't, I'm not too sure, because I've heard it several times. Is the secret, is it really about setting goals? Is that really the core? He doesn't say it right off the bat, but I'm pretty sure it's about setting goals. Right? So obviously, guys, if you've been in the marketplace, you've definitely had to make some adjustments. Okay, I'm not talking to you guys as a peer. I'm not talking at you, I'm talking with you. Obviously, some of the adjustments that I've had to make, making sure that I'm setting new milestones, better goals for myself, challenging myself that much more. Right? The shift doesn't come from what you do on the outside. It first has to come from the inside. Right? The mindset, the change within has to take place first before that goal can be achieved. Right? And maybe I wouldn't say I'm superstitious. I believe, I have faith. Right? That when you say something, when you set something in front of you, hey, if you're focusing on that, then it will happen. Right? I remember a long time ago, somebody had given me a book. And I like to read, I like to listen. I like to keep myself well in tune as far as how I can better myself on a day-to-day basis. CDs, books, mentors. One of the key books that I read, and he's the #1 best-selling personal finance author on the Wall Street Journal for I don't know how long. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. Anybody heard of that guy? Robert Kiyosaki, right? So it wasn't until I actually read that book where I totally understood how I'm in this industry, right? I want to make some money. I want to do good. How can I possibly be better, right? Knowing what I know. Okay? So being able to understand one of his books. His book was called The Cash Flow Quadrant, right? Anybody read that book? That Cash Flow Quadrant? He has several books, but one thing that I want to kind of discuss tonight is the cash flow quadrant. How can we possibly multiply our business? How can we grow from being where we are in meeting our goals in the future by understanding the quadrant? Right? So the cash flow quadrant really helped me to understand that there were 4 types of individuals, and they all made their money very differently. Okay? Can any of you guys see that? This is the new iPad. Okay. All right. So this one here, you've got a quadrant, right? You basically got 4 quadrants. You've got the E quadrant, which stands for the employee, okay, the mindset of the employee. You've got the S quadrant, the self-employed, small business, sole proprietor. You've got the B quadrant, the big business owner. Okay? And you've got the I quadrant. Okay? So when I read his book, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm in real estate or if I'm in mortgage, how can I possibly leverage the cash flow quadrant to grow? Grow my revenue, grow my market, grow my database, right? He simply said this, well, you've got to basically understand where you want to be. Okay, do you see yourself on this section where most of the income is earned? Okay? The E's and the S's, the employees and the self-employees, they basically earn their income, right?